Hi, this is Dr. Nemechek again of the Nemechek protocol. I want to talk today about how long do we have to treat these kids. All right. So the protocol we have helps kids with autism, developmental issues, or even just simple cumulative brain injury, leading to things like anxiety, depression, or ADD. Okay. So all of these are being affected by gut bacteria and then inflammation from vegetable oils. And then we have the formation of these primed microglia, these abnormal inflammatory white blood cells in the brain. So we need to talk about all three of these individually to try to get an idea of why, basically we're going to have to treat for a long time for some of this stuff. Let's talk about the gut bacteria. So we're supposed to have 1,000 to 1,100 species of bacteria. We had preserved this for about 3 million years, and it was being passed from mom to child, mom to child, mom to child. And somewhere around the late 1800s, some of these bacteria started disappearing. So maybe in your great grandma, when she was exposed to things like arsenic or mercury. Okay, so great grandma gets knocked down a little bit. Now grandma's born with fewer bacteria than she has. She gets knocked down by pesticides. Your mother's born with fewer bacteria. Mom gets exposed to antibiotics. And now you're born with this kind of cumulative damage from the bacteria. So this is a worldwide problem. Now, so people would think, well, because this is one of the things that allows our guts to relapse, all right? Because remember, the problem we have with these kids is the fish bacteria are swimming upstream, so to speak, and they're living up where the birds are in the small intestine. And one of the things that encourages that to happen is this low species count, or what we call low biodiversity. Another thing is antibiotics. Another thing are things like general anesthesia. Okay, so it's just hard to imagine we can get away from this problem anytime soon. One, the experts in the world on this field of gut bacteria, they can't even grow upwards of 90% of it. So I don't know how we're a long way off from learning to replenish the bacteria. We don't know how to, say, adequately treat pneumonia without disrupting the bacteria more. And, right now, whenever you have general anesthesia, you're at particular risk for this thing to relapse again. So the treatment of the gut bacteria issue is going to be ongoing for at least 10, 20 years, okay? Now in the kids, the inulin is a daily thing, and you would just continue that up into the early teens, and what will happen is it'll just quit working, and then you have to use Xifaxan. For kids, kind of teens and older, who have been treated with Xifaxan, you'll have periodic relapses, either spontaneous because you have low gut bacteria, or you're getting some antibiotics because you have an infection on your foot because you stepped on a nail and you needed to be treated with antibiotics. So we have these events happening, and we're just, for now, going to have to continually retreat. There's no way, okay, to prevent it from happening, okay, in any reasonable way. I mean, you can avoid antibiotics to a point, unless that foot infection, you want to risk having an amputation if it gets bad enough, right? And so on a practical level, the gut thing and managing that's a long-term problem. Now, when you have the bacterial overgrowth, it triggers these things called prime microglia in the brain. The microglia are your primary white blood cell in the brain. They prune your neurons, they repair the damage, they literally wire the brain up, take care of everything up there, and they become inflammatory after you have bacterial overgrowth. And this is a permanent condition, even after you get rid of the bacterial overgrowth, all right? So we have to control those, and we control those using the fish oil. That's what it does. It takes this inflammatory white blood cell and shifts and makes it behave in a non-inflammatory way. But if you quit using the fish oil, you will shift back, all right, and become inflammatory again. So we have to have this constant presence of fish oil to control those guys. We know, we believe these cells are going to live your entire life. Okay, once you get them, they don't die. They're immortal, essentially. And so That's a long-term problem until we come up with some other solution. Now, there are potentially some drugs. I'm sure medicine always comes up with something, but it's going to have to be, fish oil's pretty gosh darn safe. So whatever this treatment is better be very safe. Otherwise, I'm not going to go for it. I'll just stick with my fish oil, okay? So we're going to need the fish oil for a long time. Olive oil. What's that about? That protects your brain from vegetable oils, all right? These are everywhere in the world, all right? So unless worldwide, they quit putting soy and safflower and sunflower oil in the food supply, or they quit feeding animals grain, all right, because you can get that toxicity through like farm-raised fish and chicken, okay? We're going to need something with like olive oil to block that toxicity and protect our brains, okay? So I don't know what that is. I can't imagine the world getting rid of soy oil anytime soon, okay? So I envision the olive oil, at least in my age, be for the rest of my life. But it's just olive oil, right? Keeps you really healthy. Not a big deal. Fish oil, big deal. Keeps you really healthy, okay? And then occasionally I'm going to need some Xifaxan if my gut relapses, or if I need some antibiotics because I got pneumonia, right? So that's kind of the long-term view. Don't despair about it. You and your child are going to be super healthy because of it. And you have to always say, what are the options, okay? And the other options are a lot worse than that. So it's going to be for the near long term. We're going to need to do all this stuff. But we're all going to be a lot healthier because of it. So that's all for now. This is Dr. Nemechek of the Nemechek Protocol, Buckeye, Arizona. You all have a good day. Bye-bye.